So, like I mentioned, the new feature section. We're going to go over leaderboards. So we're going to make one for a 40-yard dash, one for our squat 1-rep max, and one for our squat concentric peak velocity that could come off a device such as GymAware. Second one we're going to do, actual product review section, is going to be the monitors. So whether it's a daily monitor or a questionnaire monitor, to see things on a daily basis in which you can quickly draw conclusions based off of. So these are tools used by coaches all over the country and the world to be able to tell what's going on at a quick glance, what exactly is going on with their athletes. So let's move into that product review. So to start off here for our leaderboards, we have our multiple different data sources. So what we're going to do to begin that is we're going to actually create assessments. So that's the first step in creating a leaderboard inside of CoachmePlus, is creating that assessment. So you can find that right here inside of settings, visualizations, build visualization. And then once you load that up, of course, you'll see the two sections in which you can create the visuals, the dashboards, and then the actual assessments piece. So, like I mentioned, we're going to build an assessment for each of our 3 categories we're going to build leaderboards off of. So to start off, we're going to do the 40-yard dash. We do that, we have all different types of assessments, but we're going to keep it very simple with the data value assessment. This is, like it says, simple display of value thresholds or compliance. So this makes it really easy just to throw in a leaderboard monitor. So once we do that, we're going to add 40-yard dash there. We have our label, so we can give it a label right there. And then I have my 40-yard dash inside of my performance index. So that's all right in there. I selected the name, the label, the field, what it's going to reference, and I'm going to show the value and the latest value. So I have that right in there. I can give it an icon if I'd like. So maybe it's an arrow, maybe a right arrow, and then we're good to go. So I can create an assessment based off of this, whether it's the raw value for the actual 40-yard dash or based off of any of the other different types of assessments there are. So you could do this based off percentile, you could do this based off of Z-score, changed since the last time, whatever it might be, you can do that as well. So we're going to keep this fairly simple and fairly standard when it comes to the ranking ones. So we're going to save that. We'll see here it's saved successfully, and then we can go in and we can create our other assessments. So we can go to our squat 1RM. Again, data value assessment. Let that load on up, and then we're going to give it a label. I'm going to copy this. Oh, I got my squat 1RM. I'm going to show value, show my latest. So it pulls my latest value, not just today's value. So it'll pull all the values for each athlete that I have and show me the latest one that they had. And then select my icon. So maybe I want a dumbbell for my squat. I can add thresholds if I'd like. I think I'm all right with that, and I'm going to save that. So when I do that, I now have my second one. Then my third one. I have my concentric peak velocity coming off of my GymAware device for my squat. So I have my data value. Again, copy and paste this. My GymAware meters per second right on that velocity. Show value, use latest value, and then I don't have a GymAware icon, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one out of this list here. So let's use this one right here, a nice little dial looking icon. So we're going to save that, and then we successfully have made our 3 assessments that are going to be associated with our leaderboards. As I mentioned, there's a few different types, whether it be the maximum, for example, maximum 1RM for our squat for the month, for example. So if you're doing monthly testing, you can see the current month or anything like that. You can do difference since last time and still show the value that you have, or there's other ones just like this. So there's a few different types of doing these, and these can all be found in our FAQ system in a detailed description of each specific one. So when we do that, we have all our assessments right in the list here. The key before creating a leaderboard is adding it to an assessment layout first. So this is one of the minor things that a lot of people will miss when they're doing this. So all we have to do is add it to a monitor or table. So I'm just going to add this to my basic performance table. You know what, let me do team summary. This one's very simple. I got my 40-yard dash. I have my squat, 1RM, and squat peak velocity. I'm going to add those and I'm going to save. So if I go to Athlete Central, this is actually a table on my group dashboard. So if I go and check that out, I can see I've added those columns right here as well. So these are going to be the ones used for our leaderboard. So of course these aren't in ranking in any order. So we're going to go home and then we're going to create those through our bookmark tool. So wherever you are in your facility, you decide you want to put this up on the wall, up on whatever monitor that you have, whatever TV. You can show this at all times so your athletes know their rankings for this. So if we go to visualizations, actually we're going to go to security, devices, right here inside of the settings menu. This will allow us to bookmark our leaderboards. So when we hit new, we're going to do leaderboard. We're just going to give it a name, so if anything happens to this device when it's connected to the TV or anything like that, if it gets lost, stolen, whatever it might be, we can cut off access to that leaderboard. So when we hit bookmark, we can then configure our leaderboard. So first up here is our training group. So what group do we want to show a leaderboard for? I got a few different ones here. I'm going to put all my stallions in there. I'm going to leave position alone. I don't really need that. I have my whole group right here. I don't need to break it down any further. I'm not going to show my inactive athletes. I don't really necessarily need them in there. I just want the ones that are currently on my team. Make these configurable. I'm going to change that so it's not. And then what would I like to see? This is where you're going to select that leaderboard quality to it. So you have, of course, your basic team access points, your monitors that we're going to go over in a few minutes, and our group dashboards if we want to bookmark any of those. But we have in our assessment leaderboards all the ones that we wanted to look at. So 40-yard dash, for example. If I take that, I can see down below here our leaderboard that's actually made out of this. So if I copy and paste this into my address bar, I can see how that exactly looks when it's going to be bookmarked to my TV screen. So when I have that, I can see this. I can color code these accordingly. Of course, I have my athlete with their name and also jersey number if they have it, their rank, percentile, and then value. But there's one weird thing about this that you may or may not notice, and it'll adjust here as more athletes are put in, is 5.2 in actually a 40-yard dash is not the best score. 4.89 is. So what we're going to do to counteract that is we're going to go back here into our bookmark tool, and we can use the how would you like them sorted section. So of course this is set to rank leaderboard, but then ascending order is the one we got to switch it to. So now when we do that and paste this back up in the address bar, we're going to see the proper leaderboard that we needed set up. So you have it right here, and in just a second this will adjust. So you could see, okay, now Calvin Owens has our best 40-yard dash time right under 4.89. So you could do that. You can switch the team, of course, everything like that, if you make the settings configurable upon bookmarking. So once we set up this bookmark, add it to the home screen of our iPad, add it as a shortcut in Chrome, we can, of course, see that as well. So we just log on out of our browser, and then we're good to go. We can access that bookmark at any time we're connected to the internet to be able to see our athletes' data. So all we have to do to switch that to the other ones we've done is, I'm going to change this back to descending because 9 is going to be, the higher the number the better on these ones, is our squat 1RM. So we do that, again, take that link, put it where we need to, and we can see, okay, Cole Wetmer's squat 1RM is 540, and Lincoln over here is 405. So we have that squat 1RM. If we know we do this on the first of every month, we can, of course, change this if the settings are configurable, like I mentioned. So you have the squat 1RM. And then the concentric peak velocity. So when we do that, I'm going to pull that, concentric peak velocity, copy that link again, and look how that looks as well. So that's all right there under the actual leaderboards.